All right, back in the news with another lesson through the spirit and power of Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakakadash. Double honors unto the elders, apostles, bishops of the great millstone. Peace and blessings, Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Barakathum, to the sincere believers, the hopefully elect out there listening and learning. House passes resolution making anti-Zionism a hate crime in America. So more unrighteous decrees, more hypocrisy from the devil. Because look how long the so-called Negro, Latino, and Native American have received hate in America. But yet and still to this day, mind you, after hundreds of years, there's no law on the books against, anti-Israelite hate crimes, you see. But when it comes to the small hat, and I remember a few years ago they passed a similar bill for so-called Asians, in an anti-Asian hate crime bill during the pandemic, and that was only after a few months of Asians receiving backlash, because remember during the pandemic where they were saying the CV came from China, and Asians was getting a lot of hate behind that. But when it comes to the Israelites, we can't get a bill for nothing. But when it comes to these other nations, when it comes to the small hat, they can get a bill dropped for them at the drop of a dime, at a moment's notice. All right. So as it says in Isaiah 10:1, woe unto them that decree unrighteous decrees and that write grievousness which they prescribe. All right. So these devils, man, they're just blatant with it pretty much. As it is written again, the joy of the hypocrite is but for a moment. All right. So these hypocritical devils that occupy the power seat in America, their time is coming. Lawmakers quietly, see that? So this wasn't even mainstream news. They just did this under the table. Quietly passed a resolution last week making anti-Zionism. Now let's go into that word Zionism, okay? We know what it is, but for the sake of edification. So this is Zionism, a movement for originally the reestablishment and now the development and protection of a Jewish nation in what is now Israel. It was established as a political organization in 1897 under Theodore Herzl and was later led by Chaim Weizmann. Okay, so Zionism is a political movement, okay, for the small hat, in which they used as a basis to set up the nation of Israel today. So there's a bill in law now that says you can't speak against that. And the reason why this whole thing even came about is because in the wake of all these world events going on, Israel, Hamas, the world is pretty much against the small hat, and they're receiving a lot of hate, especially on college campuses now. Okay, I'm trying to remember what university it was. I think it was Penn State, or Penn State might be one of them, but it's pretty much all across America. People are questioning these small hats, because through doing research through the means of the internet, this is another reason why they're going to have to shut it down, why they're projecting blackouts and cyber attacks. You know what I'm saying? They're going to have to shut down the internet because there's too much information coming out. But across many of these college campuses with young people in America, they're going on the internet and they're researching what this whole Israel Hamas thing is all about. And what they're discovering is that the small hat, they were and are in the wrong. All right. So in wake of that, now they have to pass measures to, in an attempt, take the heat off of themselves. It says, on December 5th, 2023, the House passed a resolution condemning the alleged drastic rise of anti-Sem in America following Hamas attack on Israel on October 7th. The vote split Democrats, with many accusing Republicans of attempting to weaponize Jewish pain. You see, and who is in the pockets of these politicians, whether it be the Democrats or the Republicans? Who funds the American government? Well, clearly, it's the small hats. So there's no surprise to us that they would pass such a bill, because these are the very people that are in charge of America behind the scenes. Okay. So reading on, 311 members of the House, Salakia, voted for the resolution, while 14 voted against and 92 voted present. The resolution reaffirms the House's unwavering support for Zionist supremacy. And why is that? Because they're in the pockets of the Zionists. Okay, the Zionists actually control both sides, okay, both parties in these governments. This is why they have so much influence. And they did something similar in England. Once Meyer Amschel Rothschild, okay, once his son Nathan Rothschild, once they got a good foothold in England through the banks and through monetary means, they went about, because in England at the time there was a lot of anti small hat laws on the books. Well, once they got up in there and gained significant power, okay, they were able to pay the parliament off to pass bills that were in the small hats' favor. Well, the same thing is happening in America. Okay, this is what it's always been. Okay, for Zionist supremacy, and calls on elected officials and world leaders to label anti-Zionism as anti-Sem. The 92 member of Congress who voted present did so because of pressure. Check this out, right? Did so because of pressure by Jewish Democrats such as Maryland Democrat Jamie Raskin and New York Congressman Jerry Nadler and Dan Goldman. Okay, so from the pressure of Jewish Democrats, okay, this bill was put into place. So like I just said, okay, they're in the pockets of these politicians. Okay, pretty much. I forget who made this claim, but it was one of the Rothschilds. They said it was just on my mind. Dang, I hate when that happens. But it was something to the effect of, give me control of the government and I care not who makes the laws, something to that effect. So they have the power because they have the monetary means and the connections to ensure that their will is done. These three Democrats put out a statement earlier on December 5th criticizing the resolution as, quote, the last unserious attempt by Republicans to weaponize Jewish pain and the serious problem of anti-Sem to score cheap political points. And really, people are tired of this, okay? People are tired of every time you speak against these people, they throw out the anti-Sem card, right? It doesn't matter what the topic is. It doesn't matter if it's true or not. They can just say that you're an anti-Sem and the whole conversation goes out the window. And that whole anti-Sem thing, even that's being exposed because there's more than one nation that came from Shem. All right. The small hats, okay, which they're Edomites, you know, they're not the only nation that came from Shem, which really that's what it should be, anti-Shem. Okay. But they say anti-Sem, whatever. But the East Indians, you know, those are Shemites. The Japanese, the Chinese, okay, those are Shemites. You see, the Arabs, you know, those are Shemites. And how much propaganda have they weaponized against those groups? Where is the besides the Asians, where is the anti-Arab hate crime bill? But again, the joy of the hypocrite is but for a moment. Okay, they don't even abide by their own laws. You see, they're not fair with what they put in place. It really only benefits them, which is hypocrisy. The coalition made the case that the resolution was redundant due to how the House passed a resolution the week prior, affirming Israel's right to exist as a sovereign state, while also declaring that December 5th's measure does not account for the complexity of Judaism itself and ignores nuanced examples such as the Satmar sect, a Hasidic Jewish movement, which remains staunchly anti-Zionist and quite obviously not anti-Sem. Okay. Blah, blah, blah. Your man Klaus, right? Questioning authority is dangerous and criminal. Okay, so look, as we've been telling you, we're in some dangerous times, man. Like, these people that are in power, the small hats, they're about to come down, with some very unrighteous things. All right, but ultimately, these things are happening because the wicked beareth rule. Proverbs 29 in verse 2, when the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice, but when the wicked beareth rule, the people mourn. Okay, so these small hats, okay, which is always screaming anti-Sem, they're really the ones. And as a matter of fact, how can you be mad that people are speaking against you when you're the cause of everything that's wrong with the earth, man? Okay, you're the reason why the Palestinians over there are catching hell. Okay, you encroached on their land, which really that's not neither of their land, but the Palestinians or the Arabs, those are really Arabs, but they moved in there after we were kicked out of our land in 70 AD. And they were there until the late 1800s, 1900s, until the small hat came in and seized control of the land. Now, over there's an open genocide going on of the Palestinian people, which the world is against, you see. But the whole world is in a state of mourning because the wicked, okay, which who is the wicked? Job 9:24, the earth has been given into the hand of the wicked. He covereth the faces of the judges thereof. If not, where and who is he? So the whole earth is ruled over by the influence of a certain group of people. Okay, really it's the Edomites, but the chief tribe of Edom being Amalek, okay, which they call themselves the Jewish today. Okay, that's the tribe of Amalek. All right. They are in the pockets of these world governments. This is why you have the World Economic Forum. This is why you have the World Health Organization, the United Nations, who set these things up. And why were these things set up in the first place? Well, they were set up to benefit the small hats. You see, it was set up to benefit them and their agenda. Okay, this is what you see is being pushed in today's time. Okay, they talking about climate lockdowns. They talking about, cyber attacks and blackouts and world hunger. Well, guess what? They're going to induce these things through their laws, through their means. Okay? And let me bring this scripture out as well. In Daniel 7. Okay, because the scriptures say that they would seek to change times and laws. Okay? And really they're changing times and laws to benefit their own agenda, to benefit themselves in the long run. Okay? Daniel 7:25, and he shall speak great words against the Most High, and shall wear out the saints of the Most High, and think to change times and laws, and they shall be given into his hand until a time and times and the dividing of times. But the judgment shall sit, and they shall take away his dominion to consume and to destroy it unto the end. So the latter end of the small hat, the latter end of the, people that run America, that run the Western world pretty much, that really have influence all over the earth, their latter end is destruction. So it really doesn't matter what laws they want to put on the books so that people can't speak against them. But this is a precedent that's being set for something bigger, because they still going to be destroyed, but this is them coming down with great wrath, because the precedent is being set of what? No freedom of speech. Okay, they don't want freedom of speech. They don't want anyone to speak against what they're doing. This is why this is on the books, and they say, yeah, we need to put this into law because basically they're in fear. They're in fear that people are going to rise up, that if this as they say, anti-Sem attitude continues to spread, there's going to be even more people against these small hats, okay? Which we already there. Okay, everyone knows Kanye came out with his thing last year, Kyrie with his thing. So people are well aware of who really runs things behind the scenes, okay? But again, like I mentioned earlier, this is why they're going to have to shut down the internet with a blackout. Okay, Klaus Schwab, the Great Reset. Well, guess what? They're going to hard reset everything. And when it is functional again, they're going to roll out what? The digital ID. Okay, so they can know who you are, that you're a part of the system, and, everything that they're going to attempt to do, which is really all in vain. But yeah, this is leading towards the famine of the word. Okay, Amos 8 and 11. Let me go there. Because these devils, man, they're being exposed at a high level. They can't hide themselves no more. Amos 8 and 11. Behold, the days come, saith the Lord Yahweh, that I will send a famine in the land, not a famine of bread, nor a thirst for water, but of hearing the words of the Lord. Okay, so that time is coming, and this is one. I mean, they're already heavily censoring the internet. They're already shadow banning. They're already deleting comments. They're already doing all these things, deplatforming people. But they're about to go to the next level with it. Okay, because right now we can still put videos up, but we're coming into a time where ain't no videos about to be up. Okay, no one is about to be speaking against the powers that be. Okay, because that's how they're gonna make it. Moving on to this article here. Rothschild says WEF will soon control what users purchase in new cashless societies. Before we get into this, let's check out what people are saying in the comments about this thing. Because, yeah, a lot of people are aware that this is a sinister plot for humanity. So look at this, right? It says, it's a fact that the Rothschilds are Jewish Zionists who own 120 central banks in the world, including the Federal Reserve banking system that is responsible for all the United States wars of the last 130 years and price inflation. War is a business. The current extermination campaign in Gaza is being paid for by the Rothschild financial family. You see that? Hold on, wait. Hold on, wait a minute. Look, this is why they're gonna have to shut down the internet, because people know too much. They look, listen to this comment. They are not Jewish. Well, they are, because the suffix ish means something like or pertaining to. Okay, so they're not the real Jew, but they're something like a Jew. Okay, going back to the time of John Hyrcanus, where Many Edomites were forced to convert and observe the laws, statutes, and commandments, and that's really where they came from. But they are not Jewish, Hebrew, or children of Israel. They are Khazarian / Canaanites, descendants of Satan's son Cain. You see this? So hey man, look, this and he's not the only one that knows this. Pretty much everyone knows, because the internet, okay? The work that the prophets have done, starting with the elders and apostles for years, okay, this truth is going worldwide, so everyone knows now. Everyone knows that the Jewish people, that they are the Khazarians, okay, that they are the sons of Cain. You see, the sons of Esau, all right, which Esau in the reincarnation, Esau is basically the reincarnation of Cain, okay, after the flood. They pretend to be Jews, but are of the synagogue of Satan, just as Christ said in Scripture. Okay, let's get some more. Now, how will they control anything swinging from a rope? Okay, so that's another thing you have. You have a lot of people out here that are ready to go to war. Okay, they just released a report the other day that they were investigating 200 soldiers in the U.S. military that were seeking to stage a revolt against the government because of all that's been going on. So yeah, that spirit of sedition, of rebellion, is well within the earth. Okay. So yeah, look, man, all these comments you seeing. Yeah, man, the cat is out the bag. I've never seen this before. Lady Rothschild at home. Hint, she is I guess that's, pedo. Something that only eats children, similar to omnivore and carnivore. Often describes the monsters in children's horror stories and fears. Hey, Esau. Matter of fact, let me go to Obadiah, okay? Because look, man, the Lord is exposing Esau, okay? And great shame is coming upon this devil, man. All right, Obadiah 1:6. How are the things of Esau searched out? How are his hidden things sought up? Okay, so all the hidden things of Esau, okay, all of the dirt that this devil done, it's now well known in America and really all throughout the earth. Okay, they're the reason why all these wars are, ongoing, and this climate narrative and devaluing physical money, going to a digital system. Listen, man, the cat is out the bag. Okay, and these people are in the forefront of that. Okay, Klaus Schwab, he's a small hat. All right, King Charles, he's a small hat. The head of the Rothschild banking dynasty has ordered world governments to accelerate the implementation of cashless societies, and has boasted that the WEF, controlled artificial intelligence, will soon dictate what the public can and can't do with their own money. Okay, and that goes into what? Controlling people's ability to buy and sell, which, where is that mentioned? Let's go. Revelation 13:16. And he causes all, what did it say in this article, right? Has ordered world governments to accelerate the implementation. So you see, it's not just America that's on board with this. Okay, Europe, of course, for years has been pushing towards a cashless society. Okay, but really all the leaders of these world governments, they're with the same agenda to go cashless. It's just that there's a separation between, who's really going to control the hegemony of this new world. Okay, because the small hats, they pretty much run the Western world. Now, they have influence all over the earth with nations, but their main hegemony is in the West. Okay, Europe, America, Australia, you know, and in the East is what Russia, China, and their allies as well. They don't really have as much influence over there like they do in the West, that's what they're trying to get. Okay, but the bottom line, there's a separation between the Eastern powers and the Western powers. Okay, once again, they all want the same thing, a cashless society, but this is why you have the BRICS. Okay, because they're seeking to create their own currency because they don't really want to deal with the small hat. Okay, they don't want to deal with the U.S. people. Okay, because they already know that if they give that power unto the U.S. to regulate and create currencies, then eventually them and their societies are not going to be free because with this digital currency, they can shut it off anytime they want, and it's going to have an expiration date, so you're going to have to use it within a certain amount of time or else it's going to disappear. So Russia, China, North Korea, those Eastern superpowers, they don't really want to deal with Amalek like that. Okay, this is why the BRICS is a thing, but this is a worldwide agenda that's being rolled out. The primary objective of the council, as outlined by Smith, is to amalgamate major corporations with global influence and integrate them with governmental bodies, forming a network of technocratic overlords. The council acts as a tangible representation of the environmental, social, and corporate and governance initiative. Smith further elaborates that the council's role includes fostering rewards and implementing penalties in the business sector. These measures are based on the degree of alignment with globalist ideals and adherence to progressive social values, as well as commitment to climate change objective, which is what? Gaining more control. But going into the MOT to the B, and he calls it all, both small and great. Okay, so whether you're, the president of the United States or you're just a low level civilian, small and great, rich and poor, free and bond. Okay, whether you're in jail or you're a so-called free citizen, it don't matter. Okay, you're gonna have to what? Receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads, which the doctrine of great millstone, okay, we teach, all right, and brothers with the same likewise doctrine, that the MOT to the B is the RFID microchip, okay, the Neuralink brain chip that Elon Musk has in development. And in Europe and Sweden, they already have the implantable chip in their hands already. Okay, it's pretty much normal over there. And in America, they have a company called Walletmore that also does the implantable chip. People already have it. Okay, it just hasn't been mandated to the level of what it is here, where it says he calls all, small and great, rich and poor, free and bond. So everyone has not been mandated to get this thing yet. Right now, it's optional. It's pretty much just a test run. You know what I'm saying? But they are going to mandate this thing. Okay, so they're going to say in verse 17, and that no man might buy or sell save he that had the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name. So we're coming into a time where if you don't have this thing, okay, if you don't have the chip, you're not going to be able to be a part of society. Remember back in the pandemic, they did the same thing. All right, they said if you don't have the Capri Sun, you're not going to be able to operate within society. Okay, you're not going to be able to have a job. You're not going to be able to get on a plane. You're not going to be able to go to concerts. You're not going to be able to stay in certain places. This is what they said during the pandemic. All of that was a trial run for what the inevitable was going to be. So in the future, which they're about to roll this thing out very soon. Okay, they're going to say, listen, if you don't have this, as it says in 13 and 17, if you do not have this mark, if you do not have the Neuralink or the implantable chip that goes into your right or left hand, whichever one, doesn't matter, But bottom line, if you don't have the chip, you're not going to be able to be in this society. Okay, you're going to be an outcast. All right, which your life in this society pretty much is buying and selling. Okay, whether you put gas in your car, okay, you're buying groceries to put inside of your house, um, you know, pretty much anything. Like you need to buy and sell in this society to get along, unless you're out in the countryside where you're self-sufficient. But majority of people don't live in the countryside. Majority of people live in the big cities where you have to buy and sell. Okay, you're not growing your own food. You're not making your own clothes. Okay, you have to buy, and if you own a business, sell to other people to make a living. So if you're cut off from that, then that's your whole life right there. You see? So this indeed is complete control over the citizen. All right. And these government, not government, but yeah. So the central bank digital currencies, okay, they're going to be connected to your digital ID, which Bill Gates is about to roll out. All right. So if you have a bad social credit score, guess what? You're not going to be able to buy certain things. Like if you want to buy a smoothie and your social credit score is bad, then your chip is going to be shut off. Okay. If you say something that's against the powers that be that they don't like, they can turn off your chip. Okay. So they're going to have what? Complete control over your life. Okay. This is the world that they want. This great reset. You see? But yeah, it says that this is coming from the horse's mouth. The Rothschilds, okay, the people that fund these governments, will soon control what users purchase in new cashless society. So there you go, from the horse's mouth. They want this cashless society. So all those people that were, demonized, they were attacked, they were called names. Oh, you're a seed theorist, you're a bug out. Well, yeah, hey, guess what? It's happening right before your eyes. You see? It's happening right before your eyes. And guess what? They are going to do it because this is biblical prophecy coming to pass. Okay? This mark must be rolled out. All right? To fulfill prophecy. All right. So I believe the point has been made. Hopefully this lesson was edifying through the Rakakadash. In closing, call halal, Yahweh Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Rakakadash. And until next time, Lord willing, shalom unto the elect.